Hey guys, I hope you're hungry for a brand new adventure. Welcome back, or welcome for the first time to the Phonicians channel. My name is Jericho. So, we successfully completed Psychonauts on our last full playthrough. So now we're about to start a brand new adventure. I did say that we are going to go with Bioshock, but I am just too excited about playing through Arkham Asylum, one of my very favorite games ever. So, our new Let's Play will be Batman Arkham Asylum for the remastered Return to Arkham collection. So I'm very excited for this series. If you are too, make sure you subscribe and leave a like so I know that everybody is interested. But this is a game, besides like Smash Brothers and Pokemon, which are series that I've played since I was a kid and really are into, this is my very favorite game of all time. So I'm just beyond excited to play through it again, and I think this will make for a really good playthrough because it's a game where I have a lot to talk about, just because it does. I do love it so much. I know a little bit about it, and I know a lot about Batman, so there'll be hopefully always something cool to talk about. So as is usually the case with our full playthroughs, which is what we call Let's Plays on the channel, we'll have new episodes every Monday and Friday. They typically are between 15 and 30 minutes, usually right around the 20-minute mark, sometimes a little bit longer. Maybe for this first episode it'll be a little bit longer, because the game does have I don't want to say it takes a while to get going, but there just is a lot to get through before you really are like in the free. You're really moving along through the story. But typically the idea is between 15 and 30 minutes, 20 and 30 minutes really. So I can already tell some of the remastering here. A lot of this is brighter than I remember. And that was, I read some reviews, and some people actually took off, but they said that, you know, the darkness of the game is part of what made it, and it being brighter isn't such a big help, but it does look really good. It doesn't look, this is an older game. It was basically a launch title for the 360 and PS3, as I recall, or within the first few months, and now we're well into the lifespan of the PS4, so you expect to be showing its age a good bit more than it is, but these are always really good looking games, and I think the lean towards the cartoony graphics is a big help in that way. So we have Warden Quincy Sharp.
Love what you've done with the place.
That's Warden Sharp to you. Bowles!
Yo, Frankie!
One of the many things that makes this game so great is they have a lot of the best voice acting in the business. Joker is voiced by Mark Hamill, as you may or may not know, who is of course Luke Skywalker, but he also voiced the Joker in Batman the Animated Series, the greatest television show ever made, as well as in some of the animated movies. He's also Firelord Ozai, interestingly enough. Speaking of the greatest television show ever made, Batman the Animated Series, Batman is voiced by Kevin Conroy in this game, just like in the animated series, which is another nice gesture. I remember the first time I played this game, I stopped blocking. Oh, I already have control. And I think that being so smoothly, not only in graphics but in feel, going from the cutscene to being able to actually play is really cool. So I know that there's extra skins and stuff in this. I was gonna put on a silly one just for fun, but I don't know how to do it yet. You might have to get further in the game before you have the option to do so. His priorities may not be quite in the right order, but you know, that's fine. that little ketone when they come with our with the announcements is my text message tone. So I don't know. I really love this game. Hacienda. So I am sorry to not do Bioshock. Bioshock will almost certainly be next. And I don't know, who knows, maybe I'll do like this game on some days and Bioshock on other days or something. But I love this game. I could not wait to play it. And I wanted my first time getting back into it to be what I recorded, to make a really exciting new so you guys could share in my experience of getting back into, you know, literally one of my very favorite games ever.
Ooh, would you sneak in with your bats? Come on,
there's a lot of detail in the game. I like the wilted flower. I like how his hair looks too. He has like kind of like the bad hairline. Like, I don't know. It's just like an interesting take. A lot of the designs of the supervillains in this game are some of my very favorite. I like how it marries like the really serious look of you know, Dark Knight, especially later. Like Arkham Knight gets really, really gritty, but there still is a lot of nods to the. I don't want to miss what's going on with Joker. I'm just kind of wandering around for fun. There's a lot of references to both the style and the feel of Batman the Animated Series, which is one thing that really lends it a lot of what makes it so well. Paul Dini, of course, one of the writers of Batman the Animated Series, and that has a lot to do with it.
Warden didn't want you coming through, but we outfigured. We're all set.
Oh, they waited for me. That's nice.
Okay, it's clear.
Hello, new patients. This is Quincy Sharp, Warden of Arkham Asylum.
Ooh, it's my favorite show. I'm Warden Idiot. You'll never escape.
This is a really cool intro, and like a lot of games, you know, this one will just be a cutscene, but just giving you control makes it that much better. It's like it's cool to be able to look around and see things, and
Shut it and
Telling
keep
you,
moving.
the state of the wiring in these
Shut it now.
so this is another thing that's kind of cool. It's a lot of it is like kind of showing instead of telling. So the neighboring Blackgate Asylum, which is, you know, also famous, also a big thing in Batman continuity, not made up for the game. Very little was made up for the game actually, which is another thing I think really adds to it.
Seems to be in satisfactory condition. Looks like he suffered minor lacerations.
But anyway, Blackgate had a fire, so a bunch of just the regular, that's just the regular prison, not like Arkham, which is, sorry we missed it.
Take my temperature? I'd be happy to take my
but-
plans.
So a lot of like the regular thugs that would just be in the regular prison have had to be transferred to Arkham.
Get the door open.
So yeah, we missed when the doctor was giving him his examination to check on him. Joker like jumped at him. I missed it by my wanderings.
Pacification system active. Shoot to kill permissions granted.
Shoot a thrill.
You heard the lady. We got another psycho on the way.
Don't be mean.
Can you smell the excitement in the air? No? Must have
So
been one
this
of the
this
guards.
design is quite a departure from other representations of the character, but I really like how Killer Croc looks in this game. They make him a really threatening presence.
Get ready.
Keep your weapons trained.
And I like how like he basically stalks you throughout the whole game. You know, like you don't clash with him until far into the story, but you're just kind of always in the background, which is pretty cool.
What's it doing?
I can't go any closer.
I've got your scent, Batman.
Killer Croc, of course, real name Waylon Jones, was actually born with a skin condition, and it was being forced to work in circuses and treated like a monster that led to him becoming a cannibal and getting so much worse and more monstrous.
And rip you apart. Eat your bones.
What am I supposed to do with that information?
That reminds me, I really need to get me some new
Okay,
shoes.
move up.
There's a cool scene in this elevator here that I won't accidentally make us miss like I did before. I guess it's later on that we meet him.
Look like a monster.
Yeah, I'll talk about it when it happens. Never mind.
How come they let Batman pass?
Whee! Great night for a party.
Not where you're going.
So, much like Psychonauts, this is a game that I do know a good amount.
Have a trick or two
no, I don't
up
want
my
to talk too much over this.
sleeve.
I'll get
I
back
mean,
into it in just a
Don't
moment.
you think it's a little bit funny how a fire at Blackgate caused hundreds of my crew to be moved here?
Technical director Ben Wyatt, isn't that the name of the guy from Parks and Rec? Adam Scott's
I
character?
thought I told you to stay quiet.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, Frankie, you really should learn to keep that fat mouth of yours shut. It'll get you into trouble.
I really like when he gets into that really
You've
low,
never let me catch
menacing
you this
voice.
easily. What are you really after?
Oh, nothing much. Hundreds dying in pain and fear. All their meaningless lives brought to a horrifying conclusion. All thanks
trouble.
to you and a book of matches. Was that the answer you wanted?
All patients should avoid contact.
So a lot of people say that Arkham City is the superior game to this one. There's a reason I was standing over in the corner.
What's he
Hang on, I'll
doing?
get back into my thought in just a
Stay where
moment.
you are. Get a flashlight. Get a light on him.
There you go. Batman got it under control.
Our institution is temporary.
Don't you trust me?
So as I was saying, a lot of people say Arkham City was better, and Arkham Knight got much more mixed reviews than the first two in this series. But Arkham Asylum has always been far and away my favorite. I think it being such a dark, well, not really dark, but like an intimate,
You killed 3 of my crew.
like the entire game is inside the asylum basically. And I think it being so laser focused made it so good, and it allowed for like the incredible sections that we're gonna see in this Let's Play, the just the awesome parts of this story.
Long night, Jim.
Joker invades City Hall and holds the mayor hostage, leaving it to me to
Now,
take the SWAT
Gordon
team
is not
to
voiced by Ed Hoskins, I believe his name is. That's the name of the voice actor from the animated series. It's unfortunately because at the time of these games coming out, I believe he was in poor health, and by now he has passed away, which is an awful shame. But
if anyone's qualified, it's
Listen, I appreciate the assistance,
he is
but
not
he'll
the same voice
unsettle the more
actor.
violent inmates.
I think he's talking about you, Bats. Don't be a stranger. You're always welcome here. Gotta say, it's good to be back.
you okay.
I like Gordon's design in this too, how he's like definitely older and very like institutionalized, like he has his suit, but he also is still a soldier. You know, he's strapped, he still is a fighter. Like it seems like he's more forced into the desk job than what he wants.
Joker's loose. Alert the warden.
And I like how like as soon as Batman's not there, the Joker's able to make his move.
The joke's on you. Ta-da! Honey, I'm home.
Come on in.
So that's really the trick, right? Is that Harley already had control? That's the crazy part.
Welcome to the Madhouse, Batman. I set a trap and you sprang it
Gloriously.
Now let's get this party started.
So now we're in it. So the Arkham combat has been emulated by a lot of games. Shadow of Mordor, I know, basically did the exact same thing. Oh, I already got a trophy. And I heard that Mad Max as well did basically the same thing. I've never played that game. But a lot of games have tried to emulate it, but never quite duplicated. Just the flow of it. When this game was first designed, it was envisioned as like a rhythm game, like Guitar Hero almost. And they wanted the flow of the combat to be to be just that, a flow, like a musical, just like moving through the fighting. So building a tempo of your attacks is, of course, as I swing into nothing. That's one thing that got really improved, especially in Arkham Knight, is the targeting of Batman. Like, I mean, it's doing a little bit better here, but it moves me to my next target, so I don't waste waste time and waste my combo swinging at nothing. If you miss, your combo goes down. Ah! But the combat just feels so good to me. You feel the flow start to build, and then just you start to build up combo after combo. And it's one thing that I feel like I'm decently good at in games. I pretty much have the Arkham combat figured out, which is cool. So this is gonna be a Joker or a riddle answer in here, but we can't do those until we've learned about them from the Riddler, which is pretty soon. So what I was trying to say earlier, in Psychonauts, I know a lot of it, but I didn't really want to make it a 100% run. But if I was there and I could figure it out, I went ahead and did it. And that's basically how I want to approach this game as well. I'm not gonna take the time to make it like a perfect 100% run, but I do intend to kind of get everything I can along the way, just because I want to show off some cool things about this game I really love. Oh, first Riddler trophy already. And we got the character bio for him right off the bat, so that's pretty cool. I actually thought that was the way we had to go. I didn't know it was going to open up the thing for me. So yeah, killing these Joker teeth is a Riddler challenge as well. One thing that I do kind of wish they had updated with this new, with this remaster or remake or whatever you want to call it, is kind of have the UI match the other games. Like I said, Arkham Asylum is my favorite in this series, but I wouldn't mind if it was all more uniform, especially when it's presented in one collection like this. but I mean it's a small. I know that would be a significant amount of work to do that updating. So it's not such a big deal. But that was one thing I kind of wish had happened.
Warning.
So we'll
Security
scurry
breach
along
in
here.
level B3.
If I think I remember the next thing we're gonna do, and that'll be a nice stopping point after I'm done with it. But I just love how like everything is like already kind of like gone to hell in a handbasket.
Security breach in level B.
That's definitely your bread and butter in the game, is that ground takedown. Once you knock somebody down, pouncing on them and finishing them off, you gotta be careful another thug isn't coming up behind you because you don't want to get hit or lose your combo or anything like that. I'm also not going to spend tons of time. I'm mostly going to follow the way the game wants me to go because it takes you everywhere. So I will. I'll sort of get the stuff as I go and not really go out of my way for it. I'm talking about like the riddles and like the 100% completion I was talking about earlier. Oh, I thought you were no good, Nick. What's up, Eddie Burlow?
What happened?
Yeah, the detailing on the models definitely looks a lot better. Like, look at
Gone this way.
like
I'll try and get it open.
the Batman's cowl. Like you can see like the grains of the material or the threads or whatever you would call it, and on Eddie's uniform as well.
Can you hear me? I'm with Batman. Hello?
Who?
Where are they?
Back
Where
down
are
there. Do you need help?
No. I work better alone.
Don't be mean. So
Franklin,
yes, we're
can you
gonna
hear
have a
me?
confrontation
You can.
with
Help's on
Mr.
the way.
Zaz, and that will round out today's episode. So Mr. Zaz is, I guess, as far as Batman supervillains go, is relatively tame. Like he doesn't have, he's not animal themed. He doesn't have any sort of weird powers, or even such a weird origin story.
Only end up in more trouble if you continue.
I don't want to talk over the cutscene that'll happen up here. We can see him back in the background there. So let's go ahead and.
Gotta save him.
Yeah, I know. What's up, Zach Franklin?
It's Zaz. He's got Mike. He's
So Mr. Zaz, his origin is similar to Batman's. He inherited a lot of money from his parents, but he gambled it all away and lost. And it sort of,
I see anything.
he lost it to the Penguin. So it sort of taught him about like how crazy, how meaningless life is. So he decided that all he wanted to do was to help free people from this, from that same madness. So the tally marks all over his body are the people that Mr. Zaz has killed. And interestingly, he made a tally for Batman, but he never killed Batman. So that's one reason why Zaz has a particular problem with the Dark Knight, is because he already made the mark, and now his count is forever wrong. He can't just kill somebody else and say, well, it'll have to do.
Zaz has got my buddy. He's gonna fry him. Do something.
So he has to kill Batman just so his count is correct again. I think he's mentioned, has a line about it as I move on this.
Close enough to Zaz to strike.
So this is what teaches you about moving around the game. It's all about going to these gargoyles.
These old gargoyles should be able to support my weight if I grapple up to them.
So one criticism that some people have of these games is you spend a lot of the time in detective mode, and it doesn't let you enjoy the beautiful graphics and art style as much because you're always looking at it in like Technicolor Oingo Boingo mode. But it's cool and it makes sense. It's not like even in like The Last of Us, like, oh, it's just his senses from being a survivor. Like Batman has these tools, he has these abilities, so it makes sense that he would have that kind of a vision mode. And you do have to use it a lot, but I mean, it is what it is.
Can you hear me? Is this thing on? Oh, hiya, B-Man. Harley Quinn here. How do you like my new uniform? Pretty hot, huh? Ow.
So Harley Quinn in this game is voiced by Tara Strong of My Little Pony fame, of Fairly Odd Parents fame, of Bubbles from Powerpuff Girl fame, lots of fames. Does an excellent job voicing Harley in this game, or in this series, I should say, all three games.
Never been happier. In case
I should say 4. Arkham Origins is a thing, but like many fans of the series, I kind of, it wasn't really an accident that I didn't mention it until now.
but no dice. Now the inmates are running the asylum. Well, technically the Joker's goons shipped him from Blackgate, but you get the idea. Bye-bye for now.
Batman, you picking this up?
Oracle, I'm
So
here.
we're in big trouble.
Asylum just vanished off the network.
Arkham has been completely taken over by Joker and his goons, And with Harley Quinn in the chair,
That's not all he's done.
we're in big trouble.
All police feeds are reporting he's placed bombs all over Gotham.
And there's the
Says
kicker.
he'll detonate them if anyone sets foot on Arkham Island. It's being suppressed at the moment, but the story will break any time now.
He's lying. It's just a diversion to keep people away.
I was like pacing around, like he would just stand there, especially if these guys could hear. So we'll actually gonna shut up. We're actually gonna wrap up this episode right here. So thank you for joining me on the first episode of our brand new adventure. Again, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any episodes. Mondays and Fridays will be the upload days for this series. At least that's what I'm planning right now. So thanks again for all the support on Psychonauts. Thanks again for joining me on this new adventure. I'll see you guys next time. I don't know about you, but I'm full.